Welcome to Business Line's State of the Economy podcast, where you'll find insight, analysis, and the story behind the numbers.
Hello and welcome to Business Line podcast. I am S Ronendra Singh. The electric two-wheeler market has grown exponentially over the past few months, and it is even giving tough competition to the traditional internal combustion engine powered three-wheelers. In the electric two-wheelers retail sales too, according to the rating agency ICRA, the volumes after declining to around 45,000 units in June this year have improved to around 74,000 units in October. However, despite the improvement, the volumes remain impacted to an extent by material price hikes taken by electric two-wheeler manufacturers to help offset the impact of the reduction in FAME 2 subsidy from June 1, 2023. To talk about the industry in detail, we have today Mr. Ayush Lohia, Chief Executive Officer, Lohia Auto Industries, which is a part of a rupees 700 crore Lohia group. Lohia Auto has been manufacturing electric two- and three-wheelers since 2008 at its factory in Kashipur, Uttarakhand, and has over 15 products in its portfolio ranging from two-wheelers to three-wheelers to commercial vehicles. It is also now ventured into the commercial vehicle segment, and the next focus for Lohia is to increase its market penetration. And after North and East, it is now looking at Southern market in a big way for its e-rickshaws and three-wheelers. Coming to Mr. Lohia, he has spent around 23 years of experience and 12 years in auto sector. And before joining Lohia Auto in 2008, he spent nearly 9 years in different companies of Lohia Global and leading strategic fronts and fostering engagements with brands like Walmart, Tesco, and IKEA. So without further delay, let's talk to Mr. Ayush Lohia for more details. Hello, Mr. Lohia.
Hi.
To start with, I wanted to ask you, how has been the sales during this festive season for electric two and three-wheelers?
The numbers has not done so great as we are expecting, but yes, the things need to improve going down the line. We have been seeing some traction in electric two-wheeler segment and three-wheeler segment, but the numbers has been almost flat as compared to last year.
Okay, so it is less than what it sold last year.
No, not less than. It has improved not that much than what we expected.
Okay. So do you think this trend will improve, or this will continue like this in the coming months?
Definitely the trend will improve. If you see from the perspective of there has been few hindrances, and the major challenge what we have seen is the number has not improved drastically is because of the FAME subsidy. The amount has reduced drastically, almost 30 to 40% FAME subsidy has been reduced on two-wheelers specifically. So that has been the reason.
Okay. So is it to do with more because of the issues in FAME scheme, or is it because of the material cost that has led to this kind of trend?
If you see, this is more from the perspective as far as the changes which has happened in the FAME subsidy as compared to the cost. Cost has also played some role, but it is not that drastic than as compared to FAME subsidy, which has been reduced from 15,000 kilowatt hour to 10,000 kilowatt hour.
Mm-hmm. And what are the expectations in the coming months, or maybe in the next 1 year?
So definitely there have been few challenges. We are not still very clear how the FAME subsidy, FAME 3, is going to shape up post March 2024. There have been news which state that the FAME subsidy will be discontinued. If that would be the case, then the numbers will be impacted much higher. We can see a drastic fall in the numbers because the vehicle will not be competitive with that of IC vehicle. And we will definitely see a direct impact on the numbers. If you see from October, if I compare the October numbers from 22 to 23, October 22 was 77,000 vehicles almost, and in October 23 it was 74,261 numbers. So there has been a fall in the numbers, but that I anticipate is purely because of the reduction in FAME subsidy.
Okay. And what about on the PLI scheme that also government had brought in, and would there be any impact because of that also?
PLI is a long-term thing which has to come into effect for the sales directly, indirectly. So directly we cannot say how much it has impacted as far as the PLI, because it only given to the few of the people who have started manufacturing in that under that PLI scheme. So I don't think so that has much impacted on the on this last month numbers, but it is what I anticipate is purely because of the FAME subsidy.
All right. So can you talk a bit more about two-wheelers? Because right now, most of the companies are focused on high speed. So do we take it as that there is no demand for the low speed two-wheelers in the market?
Low speed demand has reduced definitely because of the subsidy, the high speed vehicle. The market is shifting towards the high speed vehicle, but no one can give the accurate numbers how much numbers the industry has done for the low speed vehicle, because those numbers are not accounted, and those details are not there on any of the platform. So actual numbers for low speed vehicles is quite tough to validate or verify.
All right. And what about in the three-wheelers, which is also like giving a tough competition to the traditional ICE engine three-wheelers?
So in three-wheeler segment, that has been definitely better performer as compared to the two-wheeler segment. And we have seen the traction in electric vehicle industry from the three-wheeler segment, especially e-rickshaw category, which does not fall under FAME subsidy. That's why the numbers has not much impacted. In fact, we have seen some good growth in three-wheeler segment purely because of the big players like Piaggio and Bajaj also coming into three-wheeler segment and launched their vehicle. Bajaj has launched their vehicle just few months back. So definitely three-wheeler market will be much quicker to shift to injection combustion engine IC vehicles as compared to two-wheeler segment.
Mhm. What about the differentiation or demand difference between the uh, passenger carrier and commercial vehicles in the three-wheeler segment?
So if we only talk about the numbers from L5 category vehicles, definitely the cargo is right now leading as compared to passenger segment, because passenger has just started picking up from last few months or a year or so from last year. But cargo has been there for almost 2 years now because of logistic solutions which have been provided to companies like Amazon, Flipkart, and delivery companies. So that has seen a traction, but I foresee that in the past also three-wheeler has been majorly 70-80% has been dominated by the passenger segment, and 20% is only the cargo segment. That shift from cargo to passenger will definitely start pushing from next year, and it will be very evident as Piaggio and Bajaj and even Mahindra are going full throttle with their electric vehicle segment.
So actually, the government aims to achieve 70% penetration of EVs in all types by 2030. So from where will it come? Will it be more from two-wheeler and three-wheeler segments then?
So if you see from the overall automotive industry, two-wheeler and three-wheeler itself comprise for more than 70% of the market share, and balance 30% is all put together, whether passenger, four-wheeler, cargo, commercial vehicles, tractors, and everything is concerned.
Right.
So we definitely foresee that two-wheeler and three-wheeler is going to take a major pie again. And if we want to achieve 2030 goals of conversion most of the vehicles into electric vehicle, two-wheeler and three-wheeler need to be lead the front. But there has been one major challenge as compared to IC vehicle when we intend to shift the market from IC vehicle to electric vehicle has been the price. In the current scenario, gasoline two-wheelers are comparatively less priced, or I can say cheaper as compared to electric vehicles. And that has impacted primarily because the FAME subsidy has also reduced. If you talk about OEMs like the premium segment like Bajaj, TVS, or Ola for that matter, the prices has been above 1.3 to 1.7 lakh segment. And if we really want to, foresee and make sure that the conversion from by 2030 happens from IC vehicles to electric vehicles, we need to support the OEMs right now with the FAME incentive, because right now India has not reached, as far as electric two-wheelers and three-wheelers is concerned, we have not reached to a tipping point where the economy of scale comes into effect, and the manufacturing has also not started in the component level in a much bigger way. And the economy of scale is one of the biggest challenge what I see. That's why the prices for electric vehicle components has not come down as anticipated. It has definitely not changed from last 6 months, but it's supposed to come down as we anticipated. So we see that if we really want to achieve our target for 2030, the prices or the FAME subsidy need to be continued for another 3 to 4 years.
Right. So actually, we are on a catch-22 situation where the government is saying, in one way promoting, but there are not enough, funds to do that. And also on the manufacturing side, because of the high cost materials, it is not able to, supply as much as vehicles to the customers. So what kind of innovations are happening around the technology, especially in the battery technology, where we are still importing the cells from other countries?
Yeah, so as far as battery is concerned, that is a major component which almost constitutes 40 to 50% of the vehicle cost. The areas which we foresee which can quickly benefit two-wheeler and three-wheeler segment by reducing costs apart from economy of scale, FAME subsidy. The third major area which can definitely benefit electric vehicle industry in two-wheeler and three-wheeler segment is battery swapping policy. We have been waiting for this for almost 2 years now, and we need this policy has been expected from the central government, but it is still not released. By this way, we can separate vehicle with the battery pack, and this will reduce the upfront cost of the vehicle, and the swapping network can be used as a fuel cost, like we normally use in a gasoline vehicle. So that is one area which can definitely impact the vehicle upfront cost and definitely improve the sales numbers. We have been seeing multiple companies who has entered into battery swapping business. We have seen Gogoro there, we have seen Honda there, we have seen Sun Mobility, and there are few other companies also who have entered into battery swapping business. So Reliance is definitely coming in a big way. But battery swapping policy is missing, and once we anticipate when this battery swapping policy comes into effect, we can definitely see much quicker and faster shift from gasoline vehicle to electric vehicle, because the upfront cost of the vehicle of electric two-wheeler will come down, and definitely like economy of scale will improve, and then we can see the shift happening.
Right. So, but is it feasible for the larger vehicles, especially in the cargo segment of electric vehicles, electric three-wheelers?
Battery swapping is only feasible up to three-wheeler cargo,
Right.
L5 category vehicle. We can't anticipate, or we can't think of doing battery swapping with four-wheeler entry-level commercial vehicles or that segment. Only two-wheelers and three-wheeler will be a segment which will definitely benefit from battery swapping.
There has been a lot of companies which are very competitive, but in their mid journey they kind of collapse, or because of the tough competition, this kind of companies vanish after some point in time. I mean, we have seen in 2008 and between 2008 and 10 there were so many companies. Now we don't see much, but now there are some Chinese companies also trying to come into India, and where the government is talking about China plus one kind of a situation. So where do we see in terms of competition and new players who can strive hard to become make in India a successful project?
Oh, as far as the competition is concerned in two-wheeler and three-wheeler segment, there are number of new entrants which are there in this segment, and this electric two-wheeler and three-wheeler segment does not has a big entry barrier in India. Definitely, we have seen few companies, Chinese companies also entering Indian market, but definitely their long-term goal and things need to be validated how they intend to go. because definitely government is pushing Make in India, and a lot of components have started manufacturing in India. But still, few key components like you mentioned, battery cells and magnets and semiconductors, chips are imported. So second and third line of components are not currently manufactured in India. But definitely, government is pushing multiple PLI schemes for battery manufacturing, multiple component semiconductor chip manufacturing in India. We have seen this traction coming into India in last 2 to 3 years, and definitely we anticipate that down the line, even the motors can be manufactured without the permanent magnets like which are used in BLDC. There have been a few startups who are working on eliminating permanent magnet in the motors. But these things of like these kind of changes will definitely take time, because these need to be evolved over a period of time, well tested and validated before it can be used in the full-fledged production. So these kind of things will definitely evolve. We should be ready for those kind of evolvement which will happen, because we are comparing automotive industry, electric vehicle automotive industry with IC vehicle automotive industry, which is almost 100 years and more older in across the globe. And in
Right.
even in India also, we have seen good shift happening in last 40, 50 years in IC vehicle segment.
Right.
And we definitely know that IC vehicle are most cost efficient, and quality standards are maintained in India as compared to rest of the world. So
Right.
kind of things in automotive industry takes time to evolve,
Mhm.
because it has to go under multiple stages of testing, validation, and then only it can evolve over a period of time.
Right. Right. But there has been issues around, safety of electric vehicles. So is that still a concern? And how do you correct that, that myth to the customers?
Again, this is a evolving part. We have, as we mentioned, that battery technology evolving, a lot of composition changes are happening. We have been talking about water-based, aluminum-based, and multiple technologies in battery side. Definitely, government has introduced a lot of new safety parameters which are added in last almost 1 year or so. So all these changes will definitely improve the safety parameters and requirements on Indian roads. And we have seen that even the cases of fire and other those things has also come down very drastically. We hardly see any of these kind of instances on road. And once we evolve, these kind of cases will further reduce or almost get eliminated from Indian roads.
Coming back to the sales again, Ayush, what are the demand from the rural areas? I mean, is it like right now 50-50 from rural versus urban, or like is it like different? Can you share some light
Right
on?
now, if you see from rural is just starting, electric vehicles, especially in rural segment, is started going to rural second, two-tier and three-tier cities. Three-wheelers, especially e-rickshaw segment, is already evolving in rural also, but it is majorly condensed to the northern and eastern part of India. But I foresee that the trend has to come from urban cities, and we definitely see once the urban cities try to adapt these new technologies of electric vehicle, definitely rural will also adapt. And we definitely see even in the IC vehicle, if you look at it, the rural has been penetrated last 15 to 20 years. Technologies we have seen, it always happens from urban to rural. So
Right.
that the trend which will also happen in electric vehicle also. So rural will play a role maybe around 4 years, 5 years down the line. But here the condensation is required from the urban cities to migrate from IC vehicles to electric vehicle.
Okay. So, policies like swapping of batteries would help in the rural areas because of the uh,
Tapping is a
electricity
kind of
problem in that those areas.
what I will say is you can compare these swapping infrastructure or swapping of batteries to that of a fuel pump. So
Mhm.
where you are going to refuel your vehicle in a IC vehicle, here you are going to refuel your vehicle by replacing the discharge battery with that of the charge battery. So anyways, it will be beneficial, and I can tell you swapping is much more beneficial where you have less kilometer to be driven every per day on per day basis. Why? Because if you buy a vehicle with a fixed battery, you are paying an interest cost on even on the fixed battery, even if you are not utilizing or less utilizing per day per kilometer. But if you are in a rural city, if you use a vehicle without the your vehicle is running on a battery swapping infrastructure, then you are not paying any kind of interest overheads and on your battery, and you are much
Hmm.
more safer because people have their range anxiety, their life cycle expectation on the vehicle. They are not sure how long the vehicle will live for them. So this and battery is as I mentioned is almost 40 to 50% of the cost. These kind of benefits are there if you go on battery swapping, and this will definitely benefit over a period of time to the customer also, and the technology which will evolve in battery segment as I mentioned earlier also, this will going to play a very key role there, because those kind of expenses, those kind of costs will definitely be incurred by the battery swapping companies.
Okay. Lastly, I wanted to understand on how is the industry prepared for the afterlife of these vehicles, whereas otherwise will be known as, dumping ground for EVs. So, is the industry prepared for such kind of mechanism for, the after, whether it is battery or used battery or used vehicles?
Battery can be only area which needs additional changes to happen if you see from the perspective of the complete vehicle. Rest of the things, if we compare with that of IC vehicle, where there are a lot of moving components in IC vehicle. In electric vehicle, there are only 1/5 of the vehicles which are components which are there in electric vehicle. Battery recycling is already underway. We have been listening in the industry that a lot of companies are jumping into battery recycling business, lithium and all those things where it can be recycled and reused, all the metals and minerals.
Mhm.
And as far as the vehicle is concerned, if you see apart from motor and controller, a lot of the components are very much common, which we see in any traditional vehicle. So if you see from that perspective, apart from battery, no other component plays a very, you know, area which need to be regenerated or need to be reanalyzed. So normal vehicle, how you are scrapping, rest of the vehicle, you can do that. But a special attention need to be given for the battery especially.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for your time.